Welcome
IG
to Game 2 of
battle.
IG versus Alliance. Alliance had just taken Game 1 in a very back and forth game. Really enjoyed it. This is good fucking Dota. I'm excited for Game 2. I hope you are too.
Remaining.
This, by the way, is TI3.
5 seconds remaining.
It's good shit.
Reserve time.
OD and Lone Druid. I keep trying to say Admiral Bulldog when I say Lone Druid. It's a really bad habit. OD and Lone Druid get banned out in the first round for pretty good reason. Alliance doesn't want to deal with the OD. It's just such a pain in the ass. And
10 seconds.
since the Lone Druid is not available, I didn't get into the draft soon enough to see which one was banned first. But without Lone Druid, there's not a lot of other heroes that can do as well as a Lone Druid can. And Admiral Bulldog definitely did a great job in mid. He did give up 1 kill solo to Ferrari, but that's kind of expected. 1 Sanity's Eclipse will get used at some point. It's 160-second cooldown, so giving up 1 kill to OD is not that bad. But he competed pretty well in last hits, and he showed up when he needed to in the mid to late game and made Alliance's draft work out really nicely. Alliance once more will go for the Naga Siren. It was a utility pick last game. It was almost not a support. All the wards, ward nonsense, the smokes, all that good stuff was left to akke on CM, and EGM was left to get actual items on Naga Siren, which made me so happy to see. It definitely increases its effectiveness as a result. So I imagine we'll see more of the same. It is always possible for Loda to take the Naga Siren, so that remains an option.
5 seconds
They pick up Admiral Bulldog's hero right off the bat. I think because Admiral Bulldog, he's relatively new to the game. Alliance found him through his stream. He just played Lone Druid over and over and over again, which is why he's so good at Lone Druid. I don't know how many hundreds of games it was, but he basically just trained through matchmaking and streaming his matchmaking. Got discovered by Dendi, and then picked up by Alliance. So his pool of heroes is a little limited because he hasn't been playing Dota for much longer than a year, I think, maybe a year and a half. Nature's Prophet is another one of his heroes. The Alliance kind of has to pick up Admiral Bulldog's hero earlier on, lest it get banned out. And so they do with the Nature's Prophet. IG, this game, I think they have better solutions for the Naga Siren off the bat. Lifestealer, his rage is a much needed way of handling the sleep. One thing I really hope that IG goes for is some kind of Lifestealer bomb. Good initiation range and good mobility can really help Lifestealer out. It's not enough to just have the rage to go through sleep, especially if it's just Lifestealer and he rages and he's made himself a target.
Alliance's turn to pick.
Can put himself in quite a bit of danger, so having some sort of infest bomb or some mechanism of escape or initiation, I think is important. But they're a lot much tankier group than, at least for the early game, than IG had in Game 1. Lifestealer and Dragon Knight,
10 seconds
from the get-go, are not easy pickings.
5 seconds.
The Timbersaw gets banned out this game as well. I haven't seen Alliance play Timbersaw, but it's just been all over the place now, and it's kind of hard to tell who's going to play it and who won't, and it's also hard to know how good any given team is with that hero. Some teams have done some amazing stuff with Timbersaw, so it's kind of a wild card factor in the middle of this, and I think people in general are a little nervous about it. The Chen gets picked up for Alliance.
10 seconds
Akke plays in a fantastic Chen, and the push from Alliance is already looking pretty sick. IG definitely needs to pick up some counter push, and they banned out the Keeper of the Light,
Reserve time.
so that's not available. Windrunner's still in the pool. Oh man, my brain's starting to get all these games and the heroes are blurring together. I need to keep a list. I wish I could keep dual monitors open, so that I could keep a list of all of this. But some form of anti-push would be fantastic for them. The Magnus is available, but I don't.
Alliance's turn to pick.
I don't like Magnus versus Naga Siren. That's such a strong counter initiation. That even if you skewer all their, all the Alliance under the tower, if Naga Siren gets their song off, then they can just completely reset, and you've wasted your initiation, and you get nothing for it. I do like the Shadow Demon. Good defensive support pick. Well, I shouldn't say defensive, but provides a lot of defensive
10
utility.
seconds remaining.
You can disjoint things like the ensnare from Naga Siren.
5
You can protect
seconds
someone from getting
remaining.
focused. Decent AoE
5 seconds
helps a little bit
remaining.
with the push if you continually stack up the Shadow Poison.
IG's turn
It's
to
not
pick.
immediate burning through the creep waves, but it can provide a lot of damage over significant push. Ooh, IG gets the
Alliance's
Bounty
turn
Hunter.
to ban.
IG used to run a lot of Bounty Hunter, particularly around. It was like last fall after TI2. They played a ton of Bounty Hunter. They'd pick Night Stalker and Bounty Hunter and go to this like absurd face rush lineup where they were diving towers left and right before 10 minutes,
5 seconds
rack up like
remaining.
10 kills, and they would be so rich because they had Bounty Hunter. They'd hit level 11, and if you can hit an early level 11 on Bounty Hunter,
IG's
every track
turn
kill
to ban.
is so delicious. And it has double utility here for helping to deal with the Weaver. Bounty Hunter is very nice to deal with against Weaver, and I think I really like IG's draft so far. The only thing that they're still lacking is AoE.
5 seconds remaining.
All they've got is the Dragon Breath and the Shadow Poison, and that's not enough. They need more team fight because
Reserve
Alliance is
time.
going to be looking to do more team fights. They've got a Naga Siren in this game. That's what's going to happen. The question for me is this Naga Siren, is it going to be a support or is it going to be a carry? Alliance. So if it's Admiral Bulldog on Nature's Prophet, Akke on Chen.
Alliance's turn to pick.
I haven't seen Loda play Weaver very much. Not that he can't, I just haven't seen it. Certainly possible. We'll have to see. It could be. Would they send a Weaver mid? Oh god, I think I may give up on trying to predict Alliance's lanes because there's a lot of
10
ways they can run it.
seconds remaining.
Particularly watching one game where I saw Naga Siren go mid and
5
like
seconds
win
remaining.
horribly.
Assassin.
Oh, it's a Templar Assassin. Okay, so it is going to be.
IG's turn
It's
to
going to be a
pick.
Loda Weaver. It's going to be an S4 Templar Assassin, Admiral Bulldog and Nature's Prophet, Akke on Chen, and EGM once more playing Naga Siren, which leaves the lanes
Enchantress.
as Admiral Bulldog in the off lane and defensive tri lane with Weaver and Chen, Naga Siren, and Templar Assassin, of course, in mid. IG rounds it out with the Enchantress, and they could go aggressive here, and I kind of hope they do. I would feel happy inside if they did, particularly because I think YYF versus Admiral Bulldog would be a lot of fun to watch. Lifestealer versus Nature's Prophet should favor IG. Lots of sustain. Nature's Prophet defends on constant auto attack harass as well as treant damage to make his 1v1 matchup work. And Lifestealer has amazing sustain because of Feast. So he does pretty well in that
10
lineup, and
seconds
particularly
remaining.
because the way Feast works, it works percent
5
based
seconds
on current
remaining.
HP. So all YYF has to do is auto attack each of the treants once, and he gets pretty efficient sustain off of all of that. So I really hope that IG goes for the aggressive tri-lane here. I don't know if they will. It's risky because it
Prepare
is
for
Enchantress
battle.
versus Chen, and they may just not want to risk that. They can stick Zhou? Are they going to swap? Zhou? YYF is supposed to be on the bounty hunter. That's why I'm questioning this here. That they might switch, but I guess I hadn't thought about that. So YYF is his primary hero is Lifestealer. That's probably one of his strongest heroes. Probably matched only by Era maybe in his Lifestealer play. Zhou is generally the carry player, so seeing him on Bounty Hunter is interesting, especially because he's the offlaner here. So interesting decision making by IG. We'll have to see how this plays out. In any case, since I'm already running through the lineups, Zhou, I guess, is going to be playing the 3 position here on Bounty Hunter. Switching it up a little bit, IG doesn't usually swap their roles too often, but in this case, it appears that they have. Ferrari is going to be on that Dragon Knight mid. Faith will be playing Shadow Demon. Chuan's going to be on Enchantress, and YYF on Lifestealer. YYF plays an amazing Lifestealer, so that part is not the shocker. It's just the fact that he's playing the 1 position, the farming part of a tri lane, when he normally goes off lane. For Alliance, they've got Admiral Bulldog down in the off lane as Nature's Prophet. He's going to have a little trouble here. There's a lot of damage. The disruption is very dangerous for him. He will do the standard thing, try and get some pulls going. I like this this here. He's timed a treants just so that he starts the pull with the first wave of treants and then finishes off with the second wave so that he can get them there in time. And he will successfully pull this wave, so that's really good news for Admiral Bulldog. It means he's going to get his level 2, which means that it's possible for him to jungle. It's actually a big deal, especially because he pulls behind the tower. It means no denies, means a guaranteed level 2. Big deal for him. S4 is going to be mid. TA versus Dragon Knight. It's going to favor S4. I'd say the only advantage that Ferrari has here is that he's such a good TA player that he'll know exactly what S4 is going to do. But Dragon Knight versus TA, he has no way of burning through refraction charges, and there's going to be constant harass through the side blades. An important thing to note about the side blades is that it completely ignores armor, so that Dragon Blood not going to be useful outside of anything, outside of just the HP regen that it provides. And what the fuck is going on up here? Okay. Oh, there's a sentry. Is there an ensnare? No, EGM is still level 1, so Zhou should make it out A-okay. Oh, but they pop the dust. They really want this kill. He pops the salve. Loda, he's stepping forward. He wants to get in front and get the block off. Oh, the Riptide lands. Is it going to be a kill? He just manages to get the Viz. He's going to make it out at 20 HP. That was really close. So yeah, EGM, he'll be up here top helping out Loda. Loda on Weaver. And akke will be on Chen in the jungle. He's picked up a Wild Rune Ripper early on, which I thought he might do some stacks. That's generally many players will. Okay, it's an Enchantress creep. Many players, when they see a Wild Wing Ripper, will just immediately start stacking all the camps and then farm them with the Wild Wing Tornado, which you can see here, creating havoc for S4. It's a giant pain in the ass. It eats through refraction charges, slows your move speed, stops your bottling. It's one of the most annoying possible things that a jungler can do to mid. Second only, maybe, to a Harpy Stormcrafter. But akke, opting not to do that, just wants to keep moving. Perhaps because he'd like to make a kill happen on Zhou top. Which, with the Centaur, it is quite possible for him to do. They pop the dust. Oh, there's the entangle. This should be first blood here. The Centaur stun lands. Nice timing from akke. And he shows up at just the right time. One more right click from Loda, and he will go down. Loda picks up first blood. Happy days for Alliance up in this top lane. We haven't seen a lot of Bounty Hunter doing the solo offlane for kind of this reason. He has a hard time dealing with Sentry Ward placement, sort of akin to Broodmother. Well-placed Sentry Wards cover most of the spots that a Bounty Hunter can stay, and it's not really viable for a Bounty Hunter to pick up a Quelling Blade to chew his way into a new location. He can get Tankos, but that's about it. So he can stay here, he can stay here, here, and depending on the location of the creep wave, you can also head up and into here and here. But a lot of those are really dangerous, and every time you do that, if you get spotted, you can get blocked straight in there. You can windwalk through. Does give you unit walking. Ooh, double damage on S4, but there's a Dragon Tail on him. Faith has shown up just in time, and Chuan, he's got a Centaur. Oh, there's a disruption. This should be an easy kill. Easy kill for IG. And Ferrari picks it up with the Dragon Breath. So good rotation from IG, showing up at just the right moment. And coming down the river, that's another important factor about that. S4 was feeling pretty ballsy because of his double damage, which is why he was so aggressively positioned. But IG punishes that at just the right time, which is really good news for Ferrari, because that double damage would have been a big problem for him. In terms of the last hits mid, Ferrari's sitting at 16-3 versus S4's 20-7. So S4 is winning this lane, and will continue to, despite that kill. But as I say over and over again, you don't pick Dragon Knight to win the lane. You pick him just to be reliable, and he's going to get his farm, he's going to get his levels, and he's probably not going to die. If it hadn't been for that kill, it would be a lot harder for Ferrari, and even with the way things are, it's all about the side blades with Templar Assassin mid. Good side blade harass means that the Dragon Knight has a hell of a time, particularly melees. Ranged heroes can have an easier time avoiding. Ooh. Chuan, he showed up here. They've got the sentry that's still lasted from the previous gank, and Ferrari, with his haste rune, there's no way that S4 is getting away from this. He tries to sit and meld, but no chance. So that haste rune for S4 actually makes a pretty big difference. Another good rotation from Chuan. He's making a lot of things happen with his Enchantress. Ooh. Potentially big dive coming here for Alliance. They want to take down Zhou, and they've got the net from the Dark Troll Warlord and Summoner, even. And another kill for Loda. So kills going back and forth across the map. 2-2, 5 minutes in. Both teams are grouped up at the opposing off-lane tier 1s, and they'll probably both get them at just about the exact same time. Admiral Bulldog is having an okay time. Compared to Zhou, he's having a fantastic time. He's actually got a couple last hits. He's level 4. Zhou is almost level 4, so he's almost getting experience he needs, but gotten no last hits so far, and he's not going to be able to challenge Loda. Up against a Weaver, it's really hard. Going 1v1, Geminate attack makes auto attack harass so efficient, and if he lands the swarm, Bounty Hunter's attack speed is not that high, so killing the swarm beetles can take a little while. And it's a lot of minus armor that combos well with that Geminate attack. There is no swarm up in Loda. Sometimes I question Loda's skill builds, and this is going to be a moment where I might do that. I think one level of the swarm would really be worth it here. But particularly over a second level in Geminate attack. I mean, Geminate attack does get you save yourself a full second off of the cooldown on that when you get it, so it is a big deal. But I don't know. I guess he doesn't need it to get kills on Zhou, and would rather just be farming more efficiently. So there's a rhyme to the reason. Smoke up here on Chuan and Ferrari. They've got 2 perfect creeps for this. This Dark Troll Summoner may not last long enough to get to any kills. Mid tier 1 also went down. I don't know when that happened. I guess I missed it. But if they could find anybody, that would be a pretty great killing combo. But they're waiting for Admiral Bulldog to come back to this bottom lane, and he's kind of happy in the jungle right now. Sitting on 1100 gold, looks like he's going straight for a Midas. They say, fuck it, we're not going to get any kills, we'll just take down this tower. And Alliance may choose just to give it up. Although Zhou, they weren't able to quite catch him in time. Walks out of sentry ward range just fast enough. So no trades here for Alliance as the bottom tier 2 goes down. And we'll just change it over to net worth at this point with all the towers dropping. Trying to get into a routine so that I don't forget the goddamn numbers on the top left. Because I do that all the time. One interesting thing I want to note about Templar Assassin's builds lately. In TI2, Templar Assassin had one de facto build, and that was phase into blink. That's what everybody built. Didn't matter who, that's what you built. Nowadays, I think because they've realized that Templar Assassin is just so squishy, If you burn through the fraction charges fast enough, oh, down at bottom. Admiral Bulldog goes down to some aggressive movement from YYF and Ferrari. But if you burn through the refraction charges, Templar Assassin is really easy to take down. And given that Templar Assassin's a mid-hero, can benefit a lot from the extra bottle efficiency that treads provide. Ooh. Can they get zhou in time? Do they have more vision? This is the question. He's just in range of the sentry. If zhou knew where the sentry was, he could have just walked. He was so close. Like, he was right there. If he'd walked like 2 inches south, he would have been safe. But no such luck for him. And Alliance, they're going to go straight for Roche. This is a 9-minute Roche, which they can do because they got the armor reduction for Meld, and they got the treants to tank it. So definitely viable. Will take them a little time, but they can definitely do it. And it's going to be hard for IG to challenge this. Although it looks like IG's aware. They've got faith here, but he's got to be really careful. Akke's got 3 quite nice creeps here. Good diversity. Ooh, if he gets the chain stun up. Oh, Akke steps too far forward, however. Can he get the Hand of God off on time? Yes, he can. Zhou, he's in the middle of things, but he's taking so much damage. He's not going to have any tracks for this fight. That's a big downside for IG. Chuan throwing the impetus out. He's able to finish off Admiral Bulldog okay, but Ferrari gets netted up, and he's going to go down as well. It's a 3-for-1. Or 3-for-2, sorry, in favor of Alliance, although YYF. He doesn't have an infest anymore. He gets sprouted up. Immediate rage TP. Is he going to be able to make it out in time? Nope. He will go down. It's 4-for-2 in favor of Alliance, and they can just continue on this Roche. The one unfortunate thing for IG is that because they've got pretty short respawn times, they could potentially get back here in time. Roche is still only at half health. And with Akke's creeps no longer available, definitely slows down the speed with which Roche can be taken down. But nonetheless, a great fight for Alliance, and I think just some over-aggression by IG. Zhou, his positioning there was not good. He was pretty far forward, and he tanked a lot of damage that he really didn't need to. As Bounty Hunter at this point in the game, his job is just to track people up. He can get some Janatas, he's good for chasing. He can throw the shuriken out to finish people off, but he can't be in the middle trying to auto-attack things when he's sitting at 700 HP, and S4 can basically 3-shot him. Not to mention all the other nonsense that Alliance has going for them in these fights. IG, they choose to group up top, because one of the things about early Roches is that the Aegis doesn't mean as much as it might in the mid-game. IG are not afraid to make some trades. It's not like Alliance has the sustain necessary to just be everywhere on the map. So IG are okay making some group efforts like this. Blah. Blink Dagger picked up an S4. His aggression is actually going to be quite nice. The Aegis, I didn't realize that he picked it up. I kind of figured it would be Loda, but up on S4, that's actually going to be pretty high impact. Because DA's one problem is overextension and going too deep, but Aegis can really help with that. YYF has picked up his armlet, so his damage output just got a lot better. Ferrari, he's got the makings of a Shadow Blade coming. That'll be really important for IG in these fights. Zhou, no items up on him yet. Would like to see a medallion. I think that would be optimal for him. Loda, he's going straight for Lincoln Sphere this game. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to do very much. I think there's a lot of ways to proc it from multiple sources on IG. And whoop, if you Zhou, he's got to be careful. There's no detection here on S4, so doesn't have to be that worried. So S4 track is a big deal for Templar Assassin, that's for sure. So careful. Basically the entire time he's tracked. Yeah, the Lincoln Sphere, it's just going to get procced all the time. I mean, it is a lot of survivability. It's just I could go for damage. Could go for something more active, something that gives him more killing power earlier on in the game. Because I do think that Alliance is going to need that damage. It can't just be S4 making this work. And I think, especially now that S4 has picked up his Blink Dagger. Ooh. Infest inside Zhou. He uses the wind walk. Can he get there in time? Did EGM see the teleport? Because he backed off at the exact moment he needed to. And it doesn't look like this chase is going to work out. That the Ferrari, he's coming from the side. EGM will move upwards. I think a track is kind of necessary here, even if it reveals you. Is he just going to try and solo kill? He knows that Zhou is coming. This is the longest chase to no avail. A lot of wasted time for YYF. It's pretty unfortunate. You know, if he'd used the goddamn track. He didn't want to get netted up was the problem, but YYF could have just popped out and used the open wounds, so I don't think that was necessarily the best decision making.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Chuan, he's got his arcane boots and Nerd of Shadows, so his first round of items is up. He'll probably be going for a Ag Scepter, if I know Chuan. Which I don't, actually. Haven't met him. But, that would be my prediction. Bottom tier 1 should drop fairly easily. No challenge from IG. Yeah, with that Aegis up on S4, under normal circumstances, you might be able to just burn S4 down, but makes him a target that you can't focus. And oh my god, this is the best possible creep lineup you could ask for on Chen. 3 Dark Troll summoners. That means 3 summons of the skeletons, 3 nets. This really is the best, and their range. That makes them even easier, more reliable damage than you can get anywhere else. Ferrari's finished his Shadow Blade, so there is some initiation potential for IG in this next fight, but they really ought to wait just about 90 seconds for the Aegis to go away. Buckler on Faith, he's working towards that mechanism. Ogre Club on EGM. Could be going for that Heaven's Halberd once more, which I think could be a strong pickup in this game, given the large amount of right click from multiple sources here. S4 is really eager to use this Aegis. Would love to make that happen. Everybody's grouped up down here. It's 5 versus 5, and at this stage of the game, I think it favors Alliance. Not overwhelmingly, but these creeps, man, they're a big deal. Oh, pops the dragon form. Ensnare gets used on YYF. S4, he's taking a lot of damage, but that's okay. Still got the Aegis. Gets reclaimed in 25 seconds. YYF, oh, Test of Faith. All of that damage from the creeps. EGM, he steps too far forward. He's not going to be able to use the sleep, but he disjoints one of the auto attacks. Can Zhou get there in time? Oh, Zhou gets sprouted up. He's going to die for his chase. EGM actually ends up going down. Wow. Not a great fight here for IG whatsoever. And S4 on the back lines picks off Faith, and wow. Oh, there's the sleep. EGM's still here. He has to be very careful. One impetus from Chuan could take him down, or the Dragon Breath from Ferrari. So EGM will go down for his trouble, but Ferrari, he's a dead man. YYF, he's bought back. He wants to get back in this fight and make something happen, but if he ends up dying here, that is no way worth it. Oh my god. Oh, YYF. Oh, 100 HP. Wow. That was getting really close. Well, Alliance, they take the bottom tier 2. They capture a couple of kills. There's even some buybacks to boot. Who bought back in that fight? YYF bought back. There was also a buyback from Admiral Bulldog. I didn't see that he died. So the buyback on YYF is much more costly than it is on Admiral Bulldog. Farming for Admiral Bulldog is just not a problem. He doesn't actually have any items up yet. 18 minutes in. It's a little bit slow on that. But someday soon he'll get there. It'll be good times. YYF appears to be going for the Sanjin Yacht build. I think he was the first one of any lifestealer to pioneer this build. Not that building SNY is like, you know, creative genius, but he definitely popularized it and demonstrated that it's very viable. So that'll be his next item pickup, and a Basher soon to follow. Ferrari's working on his BKB, picked up the Ogre Club. That'll be really necessary for him in these fights. Without it, he's going to be a lot less effective. Zhou wants to come around from the side here, find something. I would like to see him tracking more. Track is an amazing ability. It just, by nature of having it out there, makes the enemy team afraid and eliminates a lot of possibilities for creative positioning. S4 comes in from the side here. Oh! Akke gets stunned up, but they're not able to finish him off quite yet. He uses the mech. One more right click from YYF, and he will go down. But in the back line, S4 finishes off Chuan. He's not available anymore, and Faith goes down to Loda. Ferrari, he's going to get sprouted up. Stuck inside the trees. No escape for him. It's a 3-for-1. Big overextension by IG. I don't know what their plan was there. In fact, they're going to pick up more kills. YYF, he gets netted up. There's so many nets. He's just a fish caught in 3, 4, 5 different nets. No escape for him. It's a 4-for-1 for absolutely no reason. That's really going to put Alliance in a fantastic position in this game. They're going to be at 7,500 gold. Wow, 12,000 experience. That's a huge experience gap at 20 minutes into the game. I don't know what IG's plan was there. I'm just trying to figure out. Like, they had Zhou standing on the back lines here, not tracking people. So they were not as aware of the positioning. Oh, wow. Okay.
Where are you going?
Ferrari, he's coming in. He's got the Shadow Blade up. Get the track off, or the track and the Shuriken off. So that'll interrupt Admiral Bulldog's teleport. So kind of an unnecessary kill given away for not a lot of reason. Just overconfidence from Alliance, I think. Not expecting such a TP reaction from IG. And it's very important that they not give these kills up, because that's a four hero track that they just fed, and that's a lot of gold. So little pickoffs like that matter a lot more than they do normally. Roche will be up in just about 5 seconds here, so this is going to be the next point of contention. IG, they really do have to challenge it. I don't think they have a choice, because if Alliance gets it, then I don't see them really stopping their push. Metal Hammer up on Loda, so he's going to be heading towards that Desolator pretty soon. And actually, it's not a BKB on Ferrari. It looks like it's going to be a Heaven's Halberd. Wants the extra survivability from physical damage, which I think makes sense. Just get so used to seeing BKB, and every time you see an Ogre Club, you're just kind of assume. But yeah, a Halberd would work pretty fine. I think that extra evasion will really help him versus S4. S4 gets caught out. He comes right through the backside and walks straight into a Dragon Tail. The Hand of God will keep him up for the moment, but the rage was already popped by YYF, so he's able to finish off S4 during the sleep. That sleep did not work out the way they wanted it to. Loda, he's going to get caught too. Really aggressive positioning here from Alliance. And S4, he's going to get dropped again. He just bought back. Disaster for Alliance. Way over aggressive positioning, and Akke, he's going to go down, no problem. Admiral Bulldog will pick off YYF in the back lines, but EGM's going to go down as well. It's a 5-for-1 in favor of IG. All they lose is YYF, and this is some of the worst positioning. S4 walks in from the backside and just straight into a Dragon Tail. No reason. Perhaps thinking that there was going to be a sooner initiation from his team, and if that were the case, that might have worked out. But he started the fight sooner than his team was prepared, ends up going down, buys back, gets to the fight late, because by that point, Loda has already gone down, and ooh, untouchable. I haven't seen this ever in a pro match. Sorry, I'm like a piece of candy. Yeah, bad positioning from Alliance. They completely feed their entire lead. I don't know how many of those are track, but we can assume most of them, if not all. And the gold should be basically completely reversed as a result of that fight. And the experience, when you have this much of an experience lead and you team wipe, especially with a buyback on your most valuable hero, that's bad. It's bad. But to go to Chuan's build here, he's picked up Untouchable. I'm so happy. I've long thought, why won't players pick up Untouchable? Why won't they do it? It's 110 attack speed to anyone that tries to attack you. You don't have to complete an attack. You just have to start attacking, and then you have a debuff on you. It's obnoxious, and it's really good. Versus heroes like Weaver, whose attack animation is already shitty. Templar Assassin for sure. She depends on that fast run and gun, meld strike, blink in. And it really screws with that, and it's hard to notice exactly when it's happening. There's not, like, the visual effect is not overwhelmingly obvious. And one of the things you'll notice there is that Chuan was tanking Roche, and Roche was hitting maybe once every 3 seconds. Like, that's how much minus attack speed negative 80 is. So I love this from Chuan. It's ballsy, particularly because he doesn't have any form of bonus health. Like, he doesn't even have an Ags. It looks like he's gonna go 4-staff. He's not gonna go for an Ags this game. So I was wrong about that prediction. But he doesn't have power treads. He's just going straight for utility. Once Max wants to continually spam out the Nature's Attendants and the enchant. So I'll be curious to see how he performs in the future fights. The only problem is just that he's got 800 HP and he can get melted real fast. But most of the damage that's coming his way is auto attacks. Not a lot of magic damage on Alliance, and I think that Untouchable is going to do a lot of work. Another Sanj on IG. This will be 3. Yep, there's the Halberd picked up on... I almost called him Super Ferrari. And I can only assume that this is going to be another Halberd on Zhou. 2 sources of disarm is quite good. It's also another way to pop the Lincoln Sphere. This is the most Heaven's Halberds I've ever seen in a single game. EGM has one now too, which, for the same reasons as last game. Great pickup for Naga Siren. And there's a lot of targets to disarm that are quite high value. Ferrari, he's infested right now. Oh, can they take EGM down fast enough? This is the question. He pops the Rage early. The sweep will be able to do anything. Oh, but he manages to juke a little bit with the... Nope, finished off. No chance. A track kill going towards 4 there. I mean, this is where we start to watch the gold graph. Just, it's gonna be real nice for IG. Especially that's level 2 track. That's where it really starts to matter. Level 1 track, it's nice. Level 2, it's dinner time. Faith has finished that mechanism of his. That's pretty important. It's a lot of effective survivability for his team. Alliance is doing a lot of split pushing here. They're making sure that IG really, they can't push in. If they do, they're going to lose 1, if not 2 tier 3s. They take some kills. But, oh, Admiral Bulldog just barely manages to make it out. How low is he? Not that low. So he's pretty okay. Orchid is picked up on Admiral Bulldog. It's an okay pickup for him this game. I would kind of prefer the Sheepstick just because there's not a lot of reliable... I feel like I keep saying this about every team. But, I mean, they've gotten Snare, 10 creeps, Sleep. That's what they have for stuns, and that's not quite good enough. I think a Sheepstick would really be more useful at this point in the game. Orchid's great. Nothing wrong with it, but a 4-staff? Admiral Bulldog. Question mark, question mark. I don't know about that. We'll help him get away, but I don't know that it's going to be that useful. I heard an Infest, and it's inside Ferrari. So Loda, he's still working on that that Desolator. He'll have it relatively soon. Aki's got his mech. 500 gold on top of that.
Invisibility.
Would love. Well, Roche got about another minute before he's back up. Well, it's even Stevens in this game at this point. There's still a somewhat numbers advantage in favor of Alliance, but I think that's pretty deceptive at this point. Ooh, Ferrari. Are they going to find another solo kill? I think they are. I don't think there's any way out for Admiral Bulldog. Admiral Bulldog, not having a good game. 1 and 5.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Stepping too far forward. This is the problem of a Shadowblade Dragon Knight, especially when there's a lifestealer. On his own, he can't necessarily make that kill happen, but with YYF, absolutely. It puts Alliance even further, like they're just not able to exert the map control they want. They want to keep these lanes pushed out and keep IG on their side of the map, particularly until the next Roche comes. But, oh, there's a net onto Zhou. Is the follow-up here. Several heroes from IG waiting on the sidelines. There's another infest inside Ferrari. He's going to Shadowblade up. There's a sentry right here. He walks straight over it, so Alliance knows exactly what's coming. They're not going to fall for this. Desolator finished on Loda. His damage starts to get a little more relevant. I think it's going to be pretty strong in this game, particularly versus heroes like Enchantress that just don't have a lot of armor. Desolator's always strong, but it'll also help with their push. I think that's another source of value that it provides. Well, smoke up onto 4 here. Whoa, down at bottom. Admiral Bulldog goes down again. Now this is Alliance's chance. Can they find a return kill here? They're all smoked up. S4 needs to find some pickoffs here, but they don't have vision of Zhou and just TP's out. There's no way. Alliance, they keep feeding Admiral Bulldog, and IG, they're happy to take that kill over and over again. They might not be getting any pushing done, but I don't know. It's this late game. It's tough to say who's got the advantage. I think Chen really falls off at right around now. The Hand of God is still good, as is the mechanism. You're talking about increasing the effective HP of your entire team by 550, almost 600. Which is really nice. Oh, Zhou, he's going to get netted up. This will be a kill. Pickoffs back and forth. I gotta say, Zhou, maybe you shouldn't have been there. He doesn't have vision. Didn't know they were coming. Not a lot of reason to believe he was safe there, so I think that was a case of mispositioning for him. Another thing I don't understand about Admiral Bulldog, like his continual deaths in down here, is that he doesn't have a Shadowblade. He's pushing like he has a Shadowblade, and he doesn't have one. It's tough to say whether he would actually die, or whether he would actually live if he had it, but his chances are certainly better. But I really don't think he can be pushing like that when all he's got is a Force Staff, which is why I think he picked up the Force Staff. It took me a second to figure out the rationale of that pickup, but oh, Ferrari, another infest. IG, they keep doing this. They keep finding pickoffs. This is such a deadly combo. Ferrari and YYF. Friends forever. YYF jumping, just that combo. There's nobody that can stand up to it. Not a single person. Especially now that the basher is finished on YYF. I mean, the chances that YYF won't get a bash before the end of the Dragon Tail are basically 0 to none. So, that combo is doing a lot of work. It's 18 to 18 now, 32 minutes into the game. The only positive sign for Alliance is that those aren't track kills. If Zhou were in on them, then that would be really worrisome for Alliance. But because these are just solo kills, because it is a matter of significant amount of time that YYF is spending infested inside of Ferrari. That's time not farming. So in terms of farm, they might be falling a bit behind. Now IG, they need to move towards Roche immediately. If they don't get there now, they will lose this, and it does not appear that they're aware. They're just not responding in time, and that's cheese this time too. S4 will pick up the cheese. Aegis is on Loda. An immediate smoke up. No vision of this for IG. They've got to pull back and stay safe until everything clears up. 1800 gold on EGM, working towards his next item. Trying to do item checks before the next fight. Heart of Taras just picked up on Ferrari. He just got hella tanky. He's feeling real good about himself. Ooh, up top. Zhou. Should be okay. Oh, Ferrari. He's infested by YF right now. There's the Dragon Tail onto EGM. There's going to be no sleep in this fight. The Hand of God tries to keep him up, but just not enough. S4, if he gets focused down, this could be big, but Admiral Bulldog, he's tracked up. Ferrari manages to take down S4 before he uses the cheese. He just doesn't... Maybe he opts not to use the cheese. It's tough to say. The send back onto Loda will make sure he doesn't go down, but Alliance walks into a massive trap here. A 3-for-1 in favor of IG. IG were totally ready for that. They had the Infest ready, and the Dragon Tail onto EGM. Perfect decision making by Ferrari. EGM is by far the most important target to take out first, because if they had gotten a sleep off, it could have been quite bad. Or at the very least, Alliance could have just completely disengaged. But because they bursted down EGM, and because YYF was able to just pop right out, right on top of EGM, it's nothing but gravy for Alliance. Now, I wonder about the decision-making for S4. I don't know whether he chose not to use the cheese, or whether he was just stunned up too long. It's quite possible that he was just chain stunned because he was up against Ferrari, and that Dragon Tail, it's only 8-second cooldown. That's absurd. Or 9-second cooldown, sorry. It makes a big difference in these fights. But at the very least, he's got it for the next fight, and it's possible that Alliance could make use of the fact that they still have the cheese. But that's got to be a nerve-wracking fight for them. I mean, that's multiple track kills they just gave up. Although I'm amazed the gold graph is not changing more than it is. Experience has completely evened out, however. Which, that's the opposite of how it should be. Track doesn't give you bonus experience. It gives bonus gold. But yeah, Alliance, they looked like they had the jump there. They seemed like they had a good bead on where IG were positioned, but they ended up just walking straight into a meat grinder. Demon Edge picked up on S4, probably working towards a crit, I can imagine. EGM picks up a Ghost Scepter. He's really tired of getting focused down with auto attacks, and I think that's about the only thing that he can do about it. Chuan sitting on 1,300 gold. Oh no, it's another kill on Admiral Bulldog. Oh, YYF is making so much happen as Lifestealer. Everywhere. Everywhere they are. I just feel like I've seen this story like 7 times this game. And I guess I really have, because it's just happening over and over again. YYF is doing some amazing work. And that one was a track kill too. I think that's probably like they don't even need Ferrari to be the carrier there. Like they can just do it with zhou now, and because zhou has finally had time to catch up. He had a very slow start, but he's finished that Heaven's Halberd from a while ago and got his Vlads, and he now provides a lot for his team, as well as some sustainability. Vlads for both DK and Lifestealer is a great pickup. Now this Aegis has about a minute and a half left. I don't know that Alliance is really going to want to use it. It feels dangerous for them to approach these fights. If they don't initiate on the right terms, then they just end up feeding kills, and if they do that one more time, it just starts to look like lights out for IG. Now, was there vision of that? I don't think there was. It's another Infest Bomb. This time it's on Bounty Hunter once more. And whoever they find, they will die.
Illusion.
Oh, S4. Oh. Ooh, they're just going to go for Akke. Easy kill. Gets the track up. Boom, baby. No chance. Wow. That's all. Almost call it a wombo combo, but they can do it all the time. They've been doing it so efficiently too. I mean, they just keep finding kills. And the big problem for Alliance is that, I mean, they can try and sentry up their entire jungle. They can, you know, they'd have to place sentries at so many entry points across so many areas of the map. I mean, it's not just one side of the map this is happening. It's happening down at bottom lane. It's happening by the Ancients. It's happening in their very own jungle, past the ramp. I mean, there's no way that you can ward for that. They're just too mobile. And I think it's because, I mean, Alliance, they don't want to be grouping up as 5. And IG do, or, well, I mean, IG don't have to, but because they know that Alliance aren't, they can do this roaming, and it's going to work really well. I think it's a great adaptation to how Alliance is behaving. So I think this really comes down to a weakness of the draft for Alliance. They don't have a lot to combo with the sleep this time. Like, they don't even have a gyrocopter. Like, that's even that is enough to make the sleep really work and to encourage you to group as 5. But without that, it's just really hard to make these fights work. They're not a great 5-man lineup, and they don't have anything that synergizes with the sleep all that well. It's good setup, good disengage, but they just feels like a drafting, like more and more like this game is going to be the result of the draft rather than necessarily any individual play. Like, I don't think it's necessarily Alliance's fault that all these solo pickoffs are happening, because if they spend time grouped up as 5, then they're just going to fall behind in farm. And I mean, they're already falling behind, but a lot of that's the back of track kills and these deaths that they keep experiencing. Admiral Bulldog is also not having much impact as Lone Druid. He's 1-7 right now. That is not good enough. And I just don't feel like he's had much presence at any point in this game. Particularly going for that Orchid, I think has probably cost him a few deaths at this point. Having no HP, being so squishy, he fed multiple kills to YYF. So Roche is back. Well, no, Roche is not back up. I thought it was. The positioning of the teams maybe think it was. Roche will be back up in about a minute and a half. 2 minutes. Close enough. And they've got another Infest Bomb, but one thing that IG could get baited into here is just they've had such success with it so far that they might try and force it a little bit too much. I love the decision there from Chuan to enchant the illusion. And oh, it's got a gem on it, so they're able to deward with it. Oh, that's fantastic. That's oh, that's really funny. Oh, great decision there too. I mean, not that it matters that much. Ooh, Admiral Bulldog, he's tracked up. YWF has an S and Y. There's no way that Admiral Bulldog's gonna be able to make it out of this. Come on, Bash. Oh, he actually makes it out. There's no bashes from YYF. Phenol pauses the game. So one of the admins paused the game in the middle of a pretty crucial fight, which both the teams are probably going to be pretty upset about that. YYF gets netted up, and that's pretty much it. Wow, I kind of wonder if that pause fucked things up for IG. Huh. Have never seen that before. Like a just completely unexplained admin pause. It may have been an accident. That's happened before, but that's disastrous for IG. Wow. Suddenly IG are in danger of losing their top racks. They do not have buyback on YYF or on Chuan, so they just lost 2 heroes. Core to their success here. The top tier 3 is dropping. Sheep is used on Ferrari. Sprouted up. He's silenced, so there's no Dragon Tail for this fight. Loda's dealing so much damage. Nice defensive disruption from Faith, but he's probably going to go down for the time being. Can Ferrari make it out? Nope, he gets netted up. He's going to go down. It's 4 dead on IG. Suddenly, they're losing their top racks. WTF. Wow. Just like that, Alliance wins the game. They 2-0 it. I don't think that IG can come back from this. They call GG. It's 23-25 and 43 minutes into the game. Wow. What is this game?
victory.
The words, they fail me. I can't believe that it was that close. Wow. So one failed gank. Maybe it was like totally next level strategy. Let's bait IG into constantly doing these two-man ganks, and then one time when they do them, we'll just kill them, and then they won't have money for buyback. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is YYF didn't have money for buyback. If he did, it could have been a different story. They also probably needed Chuan in that fight. They needed to fight 5v5. It's 43 minutes into the game. It's a close game. Missing one hero is pretty devastating. So I think not saving for buyback, getting a little over-aggressive, and a bizarre admin pause. That's game 2 for you. And Alliance remain undefeated in their group. They're 4-0 now. And IG are 2-2. Whew! Not sure what the next game coming up is, but it's going to be relatively soon, so I need to give my voice rest. Thank you for watching. Be back soon.